Hey everyone, my name is John. I'm a multi-six-figure remote staff software engineer. I'm also a content creator with over 30,000 followers across social media channels. And I use content creation as a tool to accelerate my career. I also teach other people to create content to accelerate their careers, whether or not they work in tech. Today's video will be an intro to streaming with 13 tips to avoid video inflation. I'll cover what video inflation is and why you should care. And with that, let's dive right into the first tip. While I do have 30,000 social media followers across channel, MrBeast, real name James Donaldson, also goes by Jemmy, has about 10,000 times more followers than I do. And so I like to go for his advice when starting out to create social media content. His advice is simple. Make 100 videos and do one thing better each time. My spin on this is that you can start with streams and short form video content. That will allow you to iterate more quickly, and you can find the topics that resonate with your audience more quickly when you deliver these short form videos. There's a problem. There's a problem with my approach. The problem with my approach, which I discovered after making over 3,000 YouTube videos, is a concept called video inflation. The problem with video inflation is that you're making more videos, but you're not following through on the second element of MrBeast's advice: do one thing better each time. So that's what this video solves for. What are about 10 things that we can do to raise the quality of our video each time? I really consider these to be the bare minimum, and this should give you a solid starting point to start growing an audience, and you will want to go do your own experiment and research from there. By the way, you can sign up at latterly.io for when you try to come up with additional techniques to improve the quality of your video. You will be engaging in search. You might do Google searches. You might try to uncover trusted authorities in the area of content creation. So the search technique video will help you understand how to sort out the wheat from the chaff and find quality information to improve the content of your video. Show your face on stream. This is something that's easy to check for, it's easy to implement, and it's a mistake that I see all too often is people will not have their face on the stream, or they may have a video, but they're not talking. They're not engaging with the audience. In general, talking, engaging with your audience, and smiling are all going to tend to improve your watch time and your likes. So item 2 is show your face on the stream, and item 3 is show something other than your face on the stream. Videos which are zoomed into a person's face, they're just talking to the video. These videos tend to do rather poorly compared to videos where a person is interacting with another person or another thing. So in this case, you can see that I have the tips up on the screen. Another format that I could experiment with is bringing on a guest and discussing ways to improve streaming. What I would expect wouldn't perform as well is if I just had you zoomed up on my face and I was just talking about streaming. When I make diagrams, I could include more color. One of the mistakes I see people make is they may have their face over the diagram, obfuscating the ability of the audience to see what's going on. Particularly when I'm talking with programmers who may be streaming coding, their face might be covering up important bits of the code, and it makes it hard for the audience to understand what's going on. So watch out for something like that. A pro tip here is just have more than one monitor. Big tip number 4, have a clean background, perhaps with an LED light or 2. Here I have one color, 2 might be more interesting. Play around with your colors, it could also be distracting. And then it's fine to have some objects here. You might have a bookshelf. When in doubt, keep it blank. When something is there, try to keep it on theme. Big tip number 5 is premeditate a topic. A little planning goes a long way, y'all. What do you get when you do not premeditate your stream? You might get something like a Hangout stream, and these do exist. It's possible to get viewers, but on average, they perform worse than a stream that is focused around a topic. It may be titled around that topic, and when you get into longer form video, you can create a thumbnail that drives clicks into that topic. The audience will arrive with a certain expectation about that topic. You're meeting it, and you're building a rapport with the audience immediately. In contrast to the Hangout situation where people just generally don't know what to expect. Maybe they're okay with that, but most people will not be interested in even clicking into a video that is a Hangout stream. I recommend time boxing this 1 to 10 minutes. See if you have anything that's current. This could be news, this could be related to the holidays, it could be something that you recently learned about or discovered. If you can't come up with a current topic, then go for an evergreen topic. So evergreen topics would be the things that schools teach for profession. There are certain fundamental skills that everyone always needs to know. You could create a list of evergreen topics specific to you, and it might take you a week to develop this list. It might be a list of 3 to 5 or more items. Once you build that list, you'll be able to leverage it, and you won't have that friction of what topic do I deal with? You'll be able to quickly come up with a topic to deal with. Reaction videos are a great example. So you can be engaging in social media content online, watching other creators, leaving comments, leaving likes, interacting with them, building reciprocity, and also creating a backlog of material where you can give your take on this subject. And how long should your videos take? So I think for streams, you should go for 30 minutes to an hour. You can go over this if there's a strong motivation. If you have a tutorial, you're doing something complicated, it's going to take more than an hour, that's fine. But consider breaking that video up into a series. This will allow your content to be more modular so that you can have titles on each section. People will be searching for particular things and they might match into a section. Maybe they just care about that section. And so you'll get higher average watch time per module if you break it up. Build a practice of streaming, getting the content that you want to communicate done, and then ending the stream. Instead of having a long tail where you've effectively communicated the end of the stream, viewers start to drop off because you've told them the thing that you wanted to tell them, but then you don't end the stream, and what this does is it drops your average watch time. This is similar to tips MrBeast would also offer, which is try to have a relatively abrupt ending to your videos. So I recommend that everyone start creating content. You might start with short form video recording on your camera or tweeting, something like this, getting into streaming as quickly as possible, and then getting back into shorts in a slightly different way. When you get back into shorts this way, you will be taking your stream and sending it to a tool like Opus Clip that will automatically cut your stream into shorts. Opus Clip will have an AI tool that can find the best moments in your video that resonate with the audience. It will clip out silence. It will clip out breath noises. And this is a high leverage way with low effort, little time investment that you can go from creating one stream to having a stream and then 5 or 10 clips along with it. This is another case where video inflation can kick in. Jimmy says, make 100 videos and do one thing better each time. If I made a stream and I clip it into 10 clips, did I really make 11 videos? I'll say the answer is no, and I'll say this based on my own experience. You will get more views, you will get more followers compared to a situation where you only made a stream, but I would just count this as 2 videos personally. So instead of 11, I would count it as 2, and the reason for that is I'm making a stream and I'm making a different format, which is a short format, and then I'm making many of these shorts, and I can get more views on different ones and understand what resonates with the audience. So I'm learning something distinct from the shorts, and I think that's the key to avoiding video inflation. Learn something each time. So I make the stream, I'm doing something better in that stream compared to whatever was before. Then I'm making these clips, and when I make the clips, I'm learning something from them. I'm learning at least 2 things. One, I'm learning between the clips what topics resonate better with the audience, and then between the clips and the stream itself, what is doing better, the stream format or the clip format. And so I would count this as 2 videos, and then I would go on to make a 3rd video, and that could be another stream where I'm implementing a learning. Or, so maybe I take 3 or 4 of the clips that did better than average among the 10 clips that I made, and I take those 3 or 4 clips and I combine them, and I may add a little bit of information that I think is left out of those clips, and I end up with just a 2 or 3 minute standard YouTube video. On to tip 7. So we said that we want to stream. What tools should we use to stream? I recommend you consider Streamlabs Pro. This enabled me to multi-stream to TikTok. So streaming on TikTok has done very well for me. I have over 20,000 followers on TikTok. It's my largest platform, and it was a pain point for me to move from TikTok to other platforms, including Twitter and YouTube and so on. I initially used Restream, which works really well, but you cannot restream to TikTok unless you are part of a TikTok agency. I was not able to find a high-quality TikTok agency to join. Maybe you're different than me. If you have a high-quality agency, feel free to go ahead with Restream or OBS. I think these are pretty good tools. What I found unique about Streamlabs Pro is that I was able to multi-stream to Twitter, to Facebook, to Insta, all across the board, and to TikTok as well, without being part of an agency. I did have, again, over 20,000 followers. That may have played a role in me getting awarded a key, but I believe that using Streamlabs Pro, I think they have a special agreement at this point in time. This is November 2024. I think they have a special agreement which allowed me to get a stream key as part of using Streamlabs Pro. Your mileage may vary, but it's a reason to check out the Streamlabs Pro tool. In addition, Streamlabs Pro enables me to stream on the standard screen size and concurrently stream to vertical format. And there are also interesting tools around recording. Besides the live streaming, when I record, it makes it easy to automatically upload to YouTube when I've connected my YouTube account to Streamlabs Pro. So I really like this tool. The key is to multiply your time. You're streaming once, it's going out to multiple channels, you're getting more eyeballs. That's the real secret sauce in this tip. Next tip is hide the taskbar. Here, I'm on Windows. Look at the bottom of the screen. This is a bit distracting. So let's go to taskbar settings. I'll go to taskbar behaviors, automatically hide the taskbar. And now I have a cleaner web page, just like I want to have a clean background, free of distraction. This is a basic design concept, similar to my background being free of distraction so that my audience can focus on me, what I'm saying, what I'm doing, or the object that I'm interacting with, as opposed to being distracted by things going on in the background. I want the same thing to happen with my desktop recording. I want it to be relatively free from distraction so that the audience can focus on what I'm saying and what I'm trying to present. And here comes tip 9. So now I have just one Chrome tab. Isn't that a lot less distracting? This is something that you can easily reflect on your previous streams. It's easy to implement, and it'll make your stream slightly higher quality. Item 10 is a lot more work. This is a big tip, but it's a lot more work. I want you to experiment with different content, saying things different ways, using different vocabulary, getting in different topics. Almost every niche will have sub-niches under it. So play around with those. As a programmer, for example, I could be building projects, I could be discussing theory, I could be helping with computer science students doing their homework, I could be doing interview prep, and you'll see that these sub-niches perform differently with the audience. When building code, I could be building different kinds of code. I could be building colorful websites, I could be building mobile apps. So within your niche or within your industry or within your profession, within the expertise that you're trying to build and demonstrate, think about what are the sub-niches and then try different formats. We've talked about streaming, shorts, and standard YouTube videos. Those are the only formats that I have in mind when I'm referring to format. It's those 3. You can also play around with the length of your video. The optimal length of your video will vary based on the social media platform that you are posting to. So in the TikTok world, there is a 5 to 8 second rule where the best videos are 5 to 8 seconds in length. Occasionally the algorithm changes, but that's been a pretty durable rule. In the TikTok world, if you want to get promoted to the main stream called the For You page, where many people will be watching even if they don't follow you, there is a hard 5-second cutoff rule so that if you're under 5 seconds, you will not be promoted to the For You page. There's a similar thing in Snapchat for the Spotlight, where certain kinds of videos will not be propagated to the broader audience. Understand those hard cutoff rules for your platform. Make sure that you're meeting that criteria so that you can be broadcast to a larger audience. And then experiment going beyond that minimum criteria. So 5 to 8 seconds in TikTok will not do as well in YouTube because YouTube wants to have more watch time on your videos. So the 5 to 8 second rule based on my data is not optimal on YouTube. By having longer videos on YouTube from 8 to 60 seconds, you will get more watch time per video on YouTube. At least currently, this is November 2024, algorithms will vary over time, but I think currently TikTok is more concerned with completion of the view. So someone watches your entire video, where YouTube is less interested in completion of the whole video and they want to look at total watch time. So that you might get 30 seconds of watch time on a 40-second YouTube video. On TikTok, you might get a penalty because they didn't watch the whole video. But on YouTube, that would be better than a 6-second video that they watched 3 times all the way through because you're getting 30 seconds instead of 18 seconds. Does that make sense? So we're experimenting with different content format and length. And when we experiment, we will see different results. We will see different like count, comment count, share count, watch time, views. What are we driving at? This is tip 11. Be intentional about the results that you're seeking. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I use content creation to accelerate my career. And one of the things I've been really excited about is getting dozens of inbound job opportunities based on my social network. The reason for this is that my social network may not be as large, but I'm networking with the right people who have contacts in the industry, they have jobs available, and I'm demonstrating a level of expertise that they're seeking. So educational videos are often boring to a mass audience. So you will not get as many views, you will not get as many subscribers, but with the smaller count of eyeballs you will be getting the kind of eyeballs that will generate inbound job opportunities. Does that make sense? Remember that Jimmy and I agree that you should make 100 videos and do something better each time. The practices in this video are to get you started with 10 to 20 videos. So after you implement the things that I'm talking about here, you should continue and do additional research on best practices. When you do that, I want you to keep in mind the results that you're looking for, and I want you to listen to the person that's teaching you, and I want you to try to read between the lines if they don't explicitly state. What are they optimizing for? A lot of the YouTube video advice out there is meant to maximize your number of viewers. This will very often not be optimal if your goal is to make a sale. Think about the things that you say when you're making a sale. Some of that can tend to drive people away. But if you don't make that call to action to make a sale, those of us in sales will know if you don't make the call to action to make a sale, you're not going to make any sales. So there are very clear trade-offs here around the things that you say and the way that you say them. And you want to be cognizant of what are you trying to do, even when you go and research the best practices, rather than just blind copying what people who may have quite a number of viewers or quite a number of subscribers. Don't blindly copy what they're doing because that might not maximize your goals. Tip 12 is use a script. I think this is really important for your standard video. This is less important for a short form video, less important for a stream. Even with a stream, if you're teaching in particular, I think an outline is going to help. With the script for the standard video, you can have it off screen or you can have it on screen. Here, this list of 13 items, I'm using it as a script myself. So how you implement that script can vary, but making sure that you write it out is going to make your recording go much smoother. Last tip is after you get through these 10 or 20, do feel free to go out and research on the web. I encourage you to do that, but I also encourage you to start social networking with other creators at this stage. Before you have 10 videos, it's hard for other people to give you feedback, but once you have 10 to 20 or more videos, people can start to get a feel for your overall process and they can see the evolution of the things that you've been doing to improve. And they can also start to see your blind spots at that point. So you, by siloing, you may think that you're making improvements and you may be changing your process. You may be doing things differently. But are those things actual improvements or are they just differences that may or may not matter to the audience? And are you missing things that are really important or really well known to a lot of people? This is why social networking with other creators is going to be really helpful. Whether they are content creators or not, even social networking with a group of super listeners, like super audience members. If you're able to get some of these contacts, these are really important, really valuable contacts as well. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. Consider sharing it with a friend. Thank you so much for being here.